Huge news, I'm currently negotiating to sell my Amazon FBA business, or at least most of it, but I'll explain that later. First, I'm gonna talk about why I'm selling my Amazon FBA business. Then I'm gonna talk about how to sell an online business, how to sell a business. And third, and probably most importantly, I'm gonna talk about what I've learned so far during this process. The truth is, if you've been watching this channel for a little while now, you know that I'm not as passionate about performance nut butter, which is my main Amazon FBA business, as I was when I first launched it. Now, here's a secret that I haven't really shared before, but the real reason I kept working on performance nut butter, probably the only real reason I kept working on this Amazon FBA business, is I didn't want to be seen as a fake guru. I didn't want to be seen as someone that's teaching how to sell on Amazon but doesn't have an Amazon business. Now, keep in mind, I do have a lot of other Amazon businesses other than just performance nut butter, but that's kind of been the main one that I talk about on this channel. I'm actually currently partnering with a few different students to launch their Amazon businesses, and I'm gonna have a small percentage of their business. But overall on this channel, performance nut butter has been the main business that I talk about over and over again. And I've talked about it before, but my sales for this company have actually been declining in the last year. And it's pretty obvious why. The main reason being that I've completely stopped working on it. In fact, about a year ago, I released what was my most probably controversial video that I've ever released, called I Quit Working on My Amazon FBA Business. And since then, I really haven't done any work on my business. I did launch a new product, Cacao, but for my original product, I stopped working on it. And even after launching Cacao, I didn't really do much work. And so not surprisingly, sales have been declining. Now, there's a number of different reasons why. A big one obviously is because of the pandemic and because so many people are staying inside and are not as much on the go. And my product's very much an on the go product. Also, not as many people were following strict diets during the quarantine time. But there's other reasons that my sales were declining, such as competitors coming in. Now, before I go any further, do me a favor and smash that like button, because I'm gonna be honest about a lot of things that other YouTubers would never talk about. In fact, a lot of my friends said, hey, don't share this information, but I think it's important to be completely honest, completely transparent in everything I do. And here's a big truth about my company. For the last 3 years, I've been making passive income. In the first year, it was around $100,000 passive income. Second year, another $100,000 passive income. So far in this third year of selling on Amazon, it's gonna be closer to $50,000, $60,000 of passive income. And when I say passive, it means very, very little work. The only work, once the product was launched, I had to do was make sure that everything stayed in stock. And I'm not saying that it didn't take some work to get that engine running, but once you have the engine running, it just kind of prints money as long as you keep inventory in stock. Now, obviously, because I'm not working as hard as my competitors, it has been declining. When I first started working on performance nut butter, it was fun. It was effortless. It was like playing a video game. It wasn't hard work. It was work. It did take time and energy, but it was so much fun that I would never have called it necessarily hard work. In fact, that's why on this channel, I teach the idea of creating what I call a passion product. Create something that you're passionate about, because it's gonna make the whole process a lot more fun. It's also gonna make it easier to make a really amazing product. And Amazon FBA and launching a passion product is the easiest way I've ever found to make money online. It was fun. It was creating something that I was really excited about. And also a big part about this is a way to create a long-term business. Unlike a lot of drop shippers and a lot of boring private labelers I see on Amazon, this is a business model that could last a long time. And if you look at how really successful companies start, they basically follow a pretty set formula, what I call the passion product formula. It's come up with an idea, validate your idea, create a tribe around your idea, brand your idea, raise some money for your idea, manufacture whatever your product is, and ultimately start selling it. And like I said, selling it on Amazon makes it so freaking easy. In the past, you had to have a brick and mortar store, and then came e-commerce. But once you had e-commerce like Shopify sites and stuff like that, you still would have to get people to your website and then convince them that you're not a scam. But with Amazon, it makes it so much easier. So these last few years, I've been putting a lot of my energy, focus, attention into spreading this idea. Because the crazy thing is, for me, when I launched Performance Nut Butter, by my second month, within 2 months of launching my product on Amazon, I was making $300 a day passive income. And that blew my mind. I sold out of my products so much faster. So the first year, I was constantly running out of inventory, which is a great problem to have, but it's still a problem. And again, this really blew my mind at how easy this was. I thought it was gonna take me at least a year or two before I was hitting the kind of numbers I was, which was about $30,000 revenue per month and around $10,000 profit. And I kept doing that through my entire first year, through my second year, and as I mentioned, so far in my third years, sales have declined a little bit. But because I hit my goal so early, like I said, within 2 months of launching my product on Amazon, that first year I started switching focus a little bit and actually really starting to enjoy my life. And I also started focusing more on this YouTube channel and trying to teach people what I did, because I felt like I had discovered something that I really wanted to share with people, because it was so much easier to make money doing that than anything else I had found. And something about me is I love learning new things. I also love solving high leverage problems. And I love when I can solve a problem, teaching it to other people. That is extremely rewarding for me. Something I absolutely hate doing is boring, monotonous things. Like once I have done something, once I've completed some kind of a journey, I don't want to do it over and over again. Like I want to help people be able to do it over and over again. But I had already created a successful Amazon business. And so the idea of going from $30,000 a month in revenue to $100,000 a month in revenue just didn't sound fun to me. It was like, well, I knew I could do it. So what was the point in doing it? To me, what sounded a lot more exciting is helping a lot of other people go from $0 to $10,000 profit per month. And in this last year or so, my Amazon business, even though it was relatively passive and it wasn't that complicated, I started having a lot of anxiety around it, because I really thought that if my Amazon business would fail, then I would be seen as a failure and that nobody would want to listen to me. And so I started getting really nervous around my Amazon business, but at the same time, it wasn't fun for me to work on it. So there was really no point in working on it. So I started thinking about, you know what, maybe I should sell this company. And I ended up reaching out to a friend of mine, Joe, who I found from a mastermind. And he told me,
Travis, you have options. The first one is that you could hire somebody. And this is someone you're going to just pay a salary and maybe even some profit sharing. And you're going to manage them, but they're basically going to run the whole thing. And you have some meetings with them so they know exactly what they're doing. And maybe they're sharp, savvy, and competent, but you're just paying somebody a salary and they just are running it for you. The second option is to sell it. And if you sell it, you're completely done. And you walk away and you wash your hands with it. You have your check and you're on to the next thing, and you can focus just on your channel. Or the third option is to partner with somebody. And the beautiful thing about this is that you're still actively involved, but you have someone who perhaps has an Amazon business already and knows exactly what to do. And maybe then you're stepping into a more creative role, and you could still have some say, but now you have this ongoing relationship where you're still involved. You guys are still building something together, and it's someone who's more competent than you just hiring somebody, which was the first option. So partnerships actually could be a really good option for you.
now do me a favor and comment down below, if you were me, if you had this Amazon FBA business, what would you do? Would you sell it? Would you hire somebody? Would you find a partner? What would you do and why? Leave that comment down below. I'd love your feedback. So I decided that I wanted to hire someone to grow Performance Nut Butter, which to me was kind of the best of both worlds, because I didn't have to be doing all the boring manual type of thing, and I could still be like high level decision making. And I knew that Performance Nut Butter could grow. I knew that my Amazon sales absolutely could increase, and it would make for some really good content. So I ended up releasing a video and asking people to submit their application to basically be my intern. And I ended up hiring someone who actually said that they would work for free for a few weeks just to try it out, which I thought was such a smart idea. If you're ever trying to apply for a job, absolutely offer to work for free for a few weeks, because that way it's almost like a no-brainer that they're at least gonna try working with you. And so I hired a guy named Gallo in Spain, and he did a really great job. He did absolutely amazing, but one thing I noticed is I still had to give him a lot of education. I still had to teach him what to do, and there was a lot more work required of me than I had hoped. What I really wanted was someone that was just gonna grow my business. Also, because he was so smart and so good, I ended up slowly pulling him towards the thing that I was more passionate about, which was this YouTube channel, my Amazon FBA course. He really started helping me with my Amazon course and this YouTube channel. So then I ended up hiring another person who also offered to work for free for a little while, and that was Jake. And Jake's a really smart kid, he's really driven, but we had some different issues I won't get into here. and ultimately things ended up not working out with him. I also hired another buddy of mine, Steven, who's a member of the course, and he's actually launched his own passion product, but he's a videographer. And so he's really good at making videos. So I hired him to make some videos for Performance Nut Butter, but ultimately he's really busy doing a lot of other things, and I'm still gonna work with him on this channel. He's gonna be my videographer, my camera guy, because I'm gonna be posting a lot of really cool content showing some kind of day in the life of stuff, some really cool things that I'm excited about, such as I'm gonna be doing like a 30-day surfing challenge. I'm gonna be showing how I learned tennis and just some different lifestyle things, like why I got rid of my car, and basically how to get your dream car for free, how to get your dream apartment for free. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification, because I'm gonna be releasing those videos very soon. So after hiring all those different people and it not really working out, I realized that it wasn't working out because I had to train someone from scratch, which requires a lot of energy, a lot of effort. And not only did I have to train them, but I also had to pay them. What I really wanted instead was a partner. So I ended up reaching out to a bunch of my friends and mentors that are in the Amazon FBA space. I reached out to my friend James, I reached out to my friend Tommy, I reached out to Mina, who's both a student, but he's absolutely crushing it with his Amazon FBA business. He's doing so well. I reached out to all three of them and said, hey, do you want to partner on this? I'll give you 50% of all sales, like all increased sales. And all three of them said, you know what? No, I'm just too busy. But something magical happened, because since I reached out to all three of them, Mina, who is awesome, I absolutely love him, he ended up introducing me to this guy that I'm currently negotiating with. And basically what we're looking to do is I'm gonna sell probably around 75% of the business. So I'm still gonna own a pretty large chunk, and I'm still gonna be able to do high-level decisions. And this guy's gonna invest a bunch of money into the business. He's gonna launch a bunch of new products, and he's gonna handle everything. All the boring day-to-day stuff that I don't like to do, he's gonna do, but I'm still gonna have some creative control, still be able to work with him and really try to advance the brand forward. Now, obviously, nothing's set in stone yet. Things could change. If the deal may fall through. So if you want to find out like what's going to happen with this deal, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Also, I helped Joe create his own YouTube channel. You can click right here. Learn everything from Joe. Joe is an expert at selling businesses. That's why I went to him to get advice. And so if you are planning on one day selling your Amazon FBA business or any kind of online business, check out this video that Joe did right here.